down, people will then find all kinds of reasons to tell themselves why it's no longer a good company. It's really interesting. It's a phenomenon, right? Price drives narratives. When the price goes down, people think of all the bad news. When price goes up, people think of all the good news. And so your mind is like this filtering device. You see what you want to see, you hear what you want to hear. So at that time, when I still remember when Meta was going down, okay, even in my community, many of my students were saying, Adam, I think it's over. People are not using Facebook anymore. Facebook is used by old people. The young people are no longer using Instagram. They're using TikTok. TikTok will kill Facebook. And Mark Zuckerberg's not a nice guy. He's a lizard man. And people focus on all the negativity, right? Don't believe me? Remember all these headlines back then when Meta was dirt cheap? All right? We had, this headline, right? Daily active users fall for the first time in 18 years. Is Instagram dying? New features and too many ads are alienating the Gen Z. The Gen Z are not using Instagram anymore. TikTok will 100% kill Instagram, social experts on influencers and authenticity. And then really, I'm not kidding, right? Is Mark Zuckerberg really a lizard? So the trouble is that when you read all these news and you listen to the people around you, you get psychologically affected and you will be paralyzed with the fear. You will not dare to buy, right? And that's why most people, they can never buy low because, again, a great company is only low when there's bad news, when everyone hates it. That's when it's a great buy. And now that the price keeps going up, people don't talk about lizard man anymore, right? People don't talk about TikTok killing Instagram anymore. People don't talk about Facebook dying anymore. Why? Because price drives narrative. When price goes up, people can only see all the good things. When price goes down, people can only see all the bad things. You gotta be careful what your brain does to you, right? Now, another example is Alphabet. And if it is so easy, why didn't everyone buy when it was undervalued at the time? Again, because price follows narrative. When the price was going down, guess what happened? People focused on all the bad news on that company. They only saw the bad news in the headlines. And if you don't remember, these were all the negative narrative that was causing a lot of fear. When at that time ChatGPT came out with the first chat box and Google came out with the Google Bard and it flopped. It came out with the wrong answer and people say, oh my God, it's the downfall of the Google brand. They are gone. Okay, and then over here it says alarm bells for Google. ChatGPT can destroy Google search in 2 years, said the Gmail creator. And then you had Google search monopoly under threat with the generative AI inventions, right? And then more recently, Google loses landmark US antitrust case over search dominance, where the Department of Justice sued Google. So again, what happens? You see all this bad news and you don't dare to buy, okay? But now the opposite has happened, right? As Google keeps going up and going up and going up and going up, and in fact the intrinsic value has now been revised because it's generating more free cash flow. Now the intrinsic value is $213. So Google is still undervalued, right? But as it keeps going up, what happens? Suddenly all these fears, all this negativity, people forget about it. So again, you got to be very, very careful. Your mind plays tricks on you. And so the most ignore most of the news that you read, because a lot of the news are biased. They are there to bias your mind. They are there to create fear and to create greed. The only thing you need to look at when you invest in a company are the financial statements. That's it. Look at numbers, look at facts, not opinions, not all these sensational headlines. And you got to calculate the intrinsic value. You got to know what it is worth. As long as you buy below the intrinsic value and you have the patience to hold it, you'll make a lot of money.